My film, Live With It, was pretty much about a section of my earlier years, about age 11, where my father was incarcerated.
As a child, I took everything for granted. Most children do. As for me, I didn't fully realize how much this man could impact my life.
Majority of the people, especially at a young age, goes through something that's hard to deal with, and I feel like everyone should be able to have a voice and kind of present their story in their own fashion.
I hated sleeping on the floor, and I told him all that. I told him everything, and all he could say was, "I'm sorry."
As a child, I took everything for granted. Most children do. As for me, I didn't fully realize how much this man could impact my life. At age 9, my dad was incarcerated. As a result, my family and I have experienced hardship in our lives. Anything from homelessness, poverty, abuse, and exponential decline in grades.
It wasn't the best feeling, sleeping in other people's homes, always wondering where you're going to sleep for the night, what you're going to eat for that day, if you can eat. My mother was broken after my dad was gone. On the weekends, we usually just sat in the shelter and did nothing.
I knew he was leaving, but I didn't know he'd be going to prison. My mom told me that he was just going to go work. As time went on, days, weeks, months, she told me what really happened.
I felt despair. I felt lost. I was afraid. I felt despair for the children. I felt like the world was crumbling beneath me. The ground was ripped from beneath me. We were crying so much that he put these sunglasses on me because I'm so pale and see-through that when I cry my face gets red and swollen. We were in the car and just hugging, lots of hugging and kissing, and he tried to think of everything to take care of. He called my mother and he asked her to please don't leave me by myself. He said, please don't leave her by herself. Like I was all she had. Just please don't leave her by herself. You know how she is, you know she's sensitive. Just please don't leave her. Like, be there for her.
After he left, our life was just on a downward spiral. It seemed like life wanted us to fail.
They would slip appointments under my door for the following day. So therefore, I can give my boss no notice, therefore jeopardizing my job. When I brought it to their attention, they told me my boss has to be more understanding, which is unrealistic. So it was just right before Christmas time, and I had nowhere for you guys to open up your gifts, and I had no family that would take us in. So I rented my last, I believe it was $136. It was $100 and some odd dollars, my last money after purchasing the gifts, and I got us a hotel room. The hotel was in a hotel that I would never even bring you guys to the parking lot area of. I guess I tried to bring some normalcy to the situation.
We mainly only talked over the phone. I hated the shelter. I hated sleeping on someone else's couch. Everything that was happening, I hated sleeping on the floor. And I told him all that. I told him everything. And all he could say was, "I'm sorry."
Being treated like just we're not human beings kind of destroyed us all emotionally. I saw a level of depression in each one of my children, down to the 4-year-old, the 5-year-old. My oldest child now has a habit of picking her face. My middle child kind of stays alone to himself, doesn't share any feelings or anything with anybody, just kind of saturates in his own emotion. We lived out of our trunk. Anywhere we were gonna stay, I organized the clothes in the trunk. Like the socks were hanging off of a certain bag, so on and so forth. The underclothes, and everybody had their stack of clothes. So we were getting our clothes out of the car, bringing it to my relative's house. And the 5-year-old, which was now I believe 6 at the time, just broke down, started crying. And I said, what is it? And he said, I'm not gonna see my father until I'm 12.
Currently, my mom works in the MTA. Me and my brother's grades have improved. We have a place that we can call our home. We have our own car. We no longer have to worry about where we're gonna sleep for the night or what we're gonna eat for that day. we're finally normal.